So the next presenter is Dr. Zhang. Okay, so let me just do a brief introduction. So Dr. Zhang is a professor at Dalian University of Technology since this year, 2024. He was an associate professor at the same university. Basically, he has done a few postdoctoral fellows at the Hong Kong University and DTU as well, Technical University of Denmark, and a visiting scholar in CMU, Carnegie Mellon University. Basically, his area of research involved methods and tools for chemical product and process design integrated with AI technologies, computational chemistry, and molecular simulation. So he received in 2017 the Best Paper Award in Computers and Chemical Engineering, and the PSC Young Researcher Award by PSC, the Systems Engineering Society of China, in 2019. So welcome, Dr. Zhang. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the introduction for me, and also I would like to thank for the invitation to come to this beautiful city in this beautiful season. Okay, my topic is intelligent design and manufacturing of fine chemicals, and my presentation will be in these 4 parts. First, I would like to give some background for my research, and then I would like to introduce some work we have done in molecular property prediction, because if we have this property prediction model, we can get this get the properties of a molecule in a fast way. Then, based on this property prediction model, we can do molecular design. And then, if we have this new molecule, the next problem is we need to synthesize this molecule. So then we have done some work in retrosynthesis prediction. So first, I will give some background. Fine chemicals are widely applied in modern society in many fields. For example, for pharmaceutical industry, military, automobile, and aerospace. But the problem for fine chemicals is the research and the development process for fine chemicals are always long and costly. I would like to take an example for drug design and development. For drugs, we commonly have different steps for the development. First is drug discovery, and then preclinical and clinical and approval. And this process is often very long. Only for drug discovery, it normally costs 2 to 10 years, and it often costs $1 billion if we can successfully find some good candidates. So the problem is new technologies are needed to accelerate the development of fine chemicals. And if we can find new molecules, the next problem is how can we synthesize this molecule? So we need to find a way to faster find the synthesis way from several kinds of raw materials in the earth to this the target molecule we needed. So the efficient development of fine chemicals and the synthesis pathway is important for human society. And the solution method for development of product is called the product engineering. It's just as its name is a product-oriented chemical engineering science. And the traditional development way is experimental trial and error. And it has some disadvantage like long development time, high costs and difficulties in experiments, and also limited screening range. And nowadays, as the modeling and computer-aided tools, the development of these tools, so computer-aided design becomes popular for product engineering. It has some advantage like high efficiency, low cost, wide screening range, and also wide applicability. And also, as AI is become popular, so AI-assisted computer-aided design method is becoming a powerful tool for product design. And for model-based product design, we can formulate the product design problem as a mathematical model, like the objective function is something like the property we need, or some process variables, or even economic indicators. And also the constraints could be something like model parameter constraints, economic models, process models, and the most important thing is property models and product performance models. And these models, how can we get these models? We can formulate model from the structure property relationship and also the transmission and the reaction process equations. And these equations are often comes from the tools from different scales, from atom or molecules to molecular scales to process scales. So this is model-based tools. And next, I would like to give some introduction for our work on molecular property prediction. First, we investigate this molecular surface charge density distribution, and this is also called the sigma profiles in Cosmo, RS, and the SEC model. Why we do this? Because first, so if we can, how can we get this property? We can use DFT calculation to get this sigma profiles. From DFT calculation, what we input is the molecular structure, and the output is this sigma profiles or molecular surface charge density distribution. This property can reflect the structure of the molecule, and this is 3D information. So it's normally not easy to be used. So we can compress this information into this curve, what we call sigma profiles here. And in this curve, the x-axis is the charge number, and the y-axis is the area percentage of this typical charge number. So we can formulate these sigma profiles. So even this information is compressed, but it can still reflect the molecular structure. And then we can use this information to get the properties, or use Cosmo-based models to get the activity coefficients or something like phase equilibrium properties. So, but the problem is of this property. This process is DFT calculation is also always high time cost, and so it's not available for high throughput computation, especially for huge big molecules. So to accelerate this process, we developed a high-dimensional neural network of atom contribution to replace the DFT calculation to faster predict sigma profiles in an efficient and accurate manner. So in this model, the input is the molecular information, and the output is this sigma profiles. So in this work, we first use this descriptor called the weighted atomic central symmetric function. It's short for WACSFS. And for this function, is a set of functions from the bound length and bound angle of the molecule. So we established a deep learning model to use this information to fast predict these sigma profiles. So after we developed the model, we have tested the model result. And for the faster prediction of sigma profiles, we are not the first one to do this. And the previous researchers did something like group contribution methods to predict these sigma profiles. But the problem of group contribution method is not able to distinguish isomers. So we tested our model, and our model can distinguish different kinds of isomers. And also we have tested in the activity coefficient using this group contribution method and our developed models to predict this activity coefficients for different kinds of combination of solvents and solutes. And the result, the more blue parts of the result is more accurate, and the yellow part is means it's not so accurate. So we can see that our model has a 58% reduction in prediction error. And also we have 3 orders of magnitude increment in completion speed compared with EFT calculation. So after we develop this model, how can we use this model? First, we developed some tools like what we call is QMAP property prediction tools. And for these tools, what we input is just the smiles or the structural information of this of a typical molecule, and we can use this tool to fast predict the sigma profiles or even some other kinds of properties like thermodynamic properties and also like some basic equilibrium property. So what we have applied this work to different applications. The first is a company project. In this project, we need to high throughput screening of crystallizations. We need to find this new crystallization solvent for the separation of rubber accelerator MBT. So for MBT is this molecule. So for this molecule, it's often used in rubber industry to accelerate the cross-linking of the rubber. And when we produce this molecule, one of the problems is the traditional separation process will produce a large amount of wastewater. So the company wants us to find out some other ways to separate out this target molecule. So we have developed the crystallization process, and so the problem comes how can we find out a good crystallization solvent to get this MBT. So we use our tools from our tools we can fast predict the SLE curve for different for a typical solvent and MBT and also the impurities. So from these curves we can calculate the purity and the yield, and then we have established a database containing 2,000 of crystallization solvent, and then we can do this high throughput screening for the solvents. And finally, we can find several solvents has good property. Like finally, we can get this product with the purity of 99%, and the yield is 93% above, and also we can reduce 80% of wastewater. And the company is for the company they have built the world largest continuous MBT production line in the world. So afterwards, we have also investigated some other properties for crystals, like crystal morphology, because crystal morphology is also an important property for crystal product. In pharmaceuticals, we often want the crystal morphology like a sphere or something like this. But how can we get these kinds of property? We can control from different variables, and the crystallization solvent is one variable. So for different crystallization solvent, we can get different crystal morphology. So the problem becomes how can we get a solvent to crystallize out the product like what we want. And we first use molecular simulation tools to get the data for different solvents. And using molecular simulation, we can get this crystal morphology. But the problem is this process is very slow. So we use this molecular simulation to get data, and then we use sigma profiles and also post-mosaic models to get these activity coefficients, and also for other properties we use group contribution methods to predict these properties. And finally, we have derived an equation. For this equation, the input is the solvent property and the output is the aspect ratio. So we can use this equation to fast predict the aspect ratio for different solvents. And for these coefficients, we need to regress these coefficients from this MD data. So we have tested different examples. For this example, we have find out the best solvent with very good aspect ratio, and the calculation result is like this, and this is the experimental result. And also we have selected some bad solvent. For this bad solvent, the crystal is like a plate shape. So this is our calculation result, and this is the experimental result. And also this is another solvent, it's a needle-like, and the calculation and the experimental result is also similar. And for application 2, we have used this sigma profiles in another area, which is odor properties. We need to predict the odor properties, because for odors, the property prediction model is missing. So in this one, we use sigma profiles as the input, because sigma profiles can reflect the charge density of the molecule, and we from our analysis, this charge density of the molecule could influence this the interaction between the molecule and the acceptor in our nodes. So we use these sigma profiles as the input, and we establish a deep learning model to predict different order properties. And the result looks good. The R squared is also high. So afterwards, we have reversed this process. The input, we use the input as, we use order properties as input, and the output is the sigma profiles. So we reverse this process. Then, using this reverse model, we can predict the target molecule for the order property we need. But the problem is, for any sigma profiles, maybe it hasn't a molecule the same for the predicted sigma profiles. Maybe there is no molecule have this sigma profiles. So we use this a linear combination rule to predict the mixture of the sigma profiles. Then we for maybe a certain mixture, they can have this sigma profile. So then we can find a mixture product. Then we use this example. We use this molecule as an example. This molecule has the order like a green grass, flower, and fruit like this. And we use the model to find out these two molecules has the combination of these two molecules has similar order property as this. But we also find the price of these two molecules are much cheaper than this one. So we have bought these molecules to do some experiments. We use electron nodes to test, and the blue one is this molecule, and the orange one is the mixture. So from the result of electron nodes is the result is also similar. So. And afterwards, we also, because we have published papers for order property prediction, so PNG company find us to wants to collaborate with us for some project like fragrance and polymer interaction in their detergent products, because they have find out a polymer, and they find out after adding the polymer into their product, the detergent can keep the smell for longer, but they don't know the reason. So we use molecular simulation to help them find out the reason. And this is the molecular simulation result. And we can find out the yellow one is the polymer. And after we add this polymer, then the size of this the size of these molecules becomes bigger. So we can find out the composite structure helps to absorb more flavor molecules, and which make them less likely to be lost with water. So afterwards, we use this MSE curve to reflect this diffusion effect of this product to do correlation. And this is our work for molecular property prediction. prediction. And afterwards, we want to use this property prediction model to do molecular design. And if we directly use the molecular property prediction to do a high throughput screening, the problem is the known chemical space is very huge, and the candidates with good performance is very rare in this space. So if we do a high throughput screening, the time cost is also not acceptable. So we use a mixed integer nonlinear programming model to do molecular design. And also for big molecules, we use this combination of scaffold and groups instead of groups and groups combination to avoid the combinatorial explosion problem. Especially for drugs, this works very well. And also for the solution of the model, we use the decomposition-based solution algorithm proposed by Professor Zhang and to solve the model. And we also developed some tools to do the molecular design. And we have some applications. This is a drug, rivaroxaban. This is a drug. It's used for anti-throbbing. And we want to find an alternative drug for this. So the task comes this. So first we use, so if we want to develop a drug, first the property we need is the affinity for the molecule and the protein. So we developed some deep learning model, to predict the affinity for molecule and the protein, and the input of the molecule part, molecular part is the SMILES, and the input of the protein is the amino acid sequence. And we use the attention mechanism in the CNN model to fast predict the affinity for this combination. And we use this deep learning model as the property prediction model. Then we use this scaffold group assembly method to design drug molecules. And we have found some result. And after we find the result, we use MD simulation and also in vivo validation to validate the result. And we find out some good candidates. And these candidates can be obtained with excellent properties and also this novel scaffold compared with the existing drug. And finally, if we after we get the new molecule, the problem is how we can synthesize the molecule. Let's go back to this example. We have found a list of new molecules, but for this in vitro validation, we can only find a molecule that we can buy. And apparently, this molecule is not the best one in our list. But since we don't have experimental we don't have students to do this synthesis, so we can only buy the molecule and do this protein experiments. So for the best one, we can only do the MD simulation. So if we can synthesize the molecule, then we can find maybe the result will be better. So that's why we want to do this retrosynthesis prediction. So from retrosynthesis prediction, we can first get the way of how to synthesize this the target molecule for the synthesis way of this target molecule. And in this work, first we develop a reaction template database to generate paths. Because if we have this reaction template, then we can put our target molecule into the template to get its reactant. And then then we can do this step by step to get the whole synthesis way. And then we use this thermodynamic constraints to screen path, because for the generated paths, many are not thermodynamic feasible. So we add this constraint to decrease the possibility of the generated paths. And then for the remaining passes, we use deep learning models to evaluate the paths to find out the best synthesis path. And after we get the retrosynthesis result, we also need to do forward prediction to evaluate the result. Why? Because for reactant A and B, if we predict if we use C to predict A and B, then it's just one by one. It's one by one. But if we reverse it if we use A and B to produce C, maybe we can find out it can also predict D. It can also produce D or produce E. So the reaction may have many byproducts. So we need to evaluate the reaction to see if A and B is really produce C, not D and E. So for this task, we use a deep learning model to predict the probability of the reactant and the product. So for the deep learning model, the input is the sigma profiles of the reactant and the product, and the output is the conditional probability of the reaction. So we have achieved a very good result, but the result is not shown here. It's in the paper. So it's this task. And after we do the evaluation, the next task is we need to predict the reaction condition, because after we give this reaction task to the people to do experiments, they always ask a question: what are the reaction conditions of this reaction? So we need to predict the reaction condition, and we have done some work for reaction condition, but if we directly predict the reaction condition, like a reaction temperature, reaction solvent, or the other conditions, the regression result is always very bad. So we have changed our idea to directly predict the reaction condition to a reaction classification, because we think for the same reaction class, the condition may be similar. So the problem becomes how can we find out which class of the reaction it belongs to? So we have developed a deep learning model to classify the reaction, and then if we know which class the reaction belongs to, we can find in the database, in this for this class what is the reaction condition. So this is our idea. So except for deep learning methods, we also do some direct calculation for reactions. This is an example. We did transition state confirmation search. We have developed this confirmation search algorithm to find stable transition state. Because for transition state, it is very important to use this transition state to predict the kinetic properties for reaction. But we need to find out the confirmation, different confirmation for this transition state, because we use this confirmation search to find out the lowest energy point of this. So we have an example. Is for I didn't write it here, but we have regressed using this method. And if we don't have this confirmation search, then the regression result is like R squared is around 0.88. But if we have this confirmation search algorithm, we have the R squared improved to 0.95. So it's quite accurate here. So this is our work, and I would like to thank again for the invitation.
Thank you, Dr.